All right. Hello, everybody. We are here today, December 12th, with Michelle, and Michelle is going to be tuning in into the chakras for some of you who are going to be showing up live. I'm going to be doing some spirit messages. And so, as we're waiting for everybody to show up, what I'd love to do is pull some cards to just see what we need to share with everybody here today. So, if you see anybody having trouble finding the live, I'd love for you to help them out and just comment and say, hey, just refresh the page. Sometimes people are wondering, where do I actually find the live? I've been sitting here, it's not popped up, and we just have to refresh the page. So if you are here, I'd love to know, tell us in the comments. And just in a few minutes, I'll be sharing the directions of what you'll need to do to qualify to get a chance for a chakra reading or a spirit message. And so as we're waiting for more people to show up here today, I'm going to just pull some cards for us all and see what spirit wants to share. So thank you so much for being here. And for those of you who are watching the replay, just know that whatever messages do come through today with our individual readings, that message might also be there for you. And sometimes we feel like, oh, I missed the live, but you still get a message for you too within somebody else's message as well. So the first card I have here, this is very relevant. This is definitely, something that's happening a lot, is closing doors. It's time to move on. And so this is a great card for the end of the year where we are finishing up our unfinished business. We're completing our tasks and those kind of things. And it's like, you know what? It's time to move on. It's time to let go of the past. It's time to move forward. And I think that's such a beautiful message with what is happening. But the next message is balance. And this is something that a lot of empaths right now are struggling to feel. And so we need to feel more balance. So this is something else that Spirit's telling us. All right, we need to move on. We got to let go of our baggage. We got to just say what's no longer working for us, moving forward. And then it's time for more balance in our life. And then I think we got this card the last time I went live. This is the card of the Phoenix, surrender to transformation and rebirth. This is that place of let go and just allow, like let the transformation happen. Stop resisting, because I feel like this, for one, these messages are on point today. So thank you, Spirit, for these are messages for everybody in case you just joined us live. But also, these messages are very relevant to the energy that's happening right now as a lot of transformation and shifting is occurring. So those are some messages I want to start out with. But hello to everybody. Thank you for being here. I know that more of you will continue to show up. And in just a few moments, I'm going to tell you what to put in the comments so that you are going to give us permission to read your energy if selected. So Michelle and I will be looking at the comments and just tuning in to see where we're drawn once I tell you what to put in the comments. But I just want to say to Michelle, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do and what you're going to do today?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for the cards. They're so on point, especially where we all are and myself personally. So thank you for those. Everyone, I'm Michelle Lee. I'm a Reiki practitioner and honored to be part of Whitney's team and to be here to support you this afternoon. What I do is as a Reiki practitioner, really like to connect and work with the chakras. And as I connect in with the chakras in the body, that to me tells the story of what's happening. There's always so much noise going on in and around us, whether it's emotionally, spiritually, physically, all of the above. And if we just take a moment to take a breath and connect to our body, connect to our energy centers, they can really tell us a lot. If we're feeling a tornado in one, that's a sign. If we're feeling really quiet, closed down another, that's a sign too. So I really like to work with the chakras, especially as a Reiki practitioner. Also intuitive. So any messages that come through from the chakras and from your energy and working with your spirit guides. So today, as Whitney said, we'll be rotating and I'll be tuning in to whomever comes through to read the chakras, do a quick mini chakra reading, what they're trying to tell you, and any advice spirit and your energy has to help you feel more balanced as you go into the new year.
Thank you, Michelle. And so what we're going to do is Michelle's going to read some people. I'll read some people. I'm not going to do a chakra reading. I'm going to give messages from spirit. And so it's kind of like this fun thing. We wanted to do this for the holidays, and I think we all need a little bit more uplifting energy. So here we are. Also, by the way, if you do want to have a full session, you can always do that. messengerofspirit.com. Right now we have a sale going that actually ends tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you can get 20% off one of Michelle's readings. And so you can visit the website if you are like, yes, I like this. Or if you're saying, I don't know my schedule yet, so I can't book, but I want to go ahead and take advantage of the price, you can get yourself a gift certificate or get somebody else a gift certificate too. Okay, so here are the directions to qualify for a chance to get a reading. So obviously we're not going to be able to read everybody, but we're going to go where we feel drawn. Only if you drop any color of heart emoji in the comments. So if you want a reading, please drop any kind of heart in the comments so that we know that you are giving us permission to connect into your energy. You can write some words with a heart or just hearts. I just am going to say today, we're going to just tune into your energy. Sometimes in the past, I've said to ask specific questions. We're not going to do that today. We're just going to say, drop a heart in the comments. And then that way we know, okay, you give us permission. We're not just invading your energy field. And we feel like, okay, we can do this. All right, so I'm seeing a lot of hearts come through. And so Michelle, I'm going to ask you if you can kind of scroll through, see who you are drawn to, and do what you do.
Yeah, wonderful. Holly Sassy. Sassy, hope I said your name correct. Holly, thank you for allowing me to connect. I appreciate the purple heart. However, I really feel it in the heart chakra. I feel a sense of anticipation, excitement, but it also feels like there's a little bit of fear and a little bit of fear there, but also a little bit of sadness that you're trying to just tamper down and push down and just push down and just carry forward. And I'd really like to invite you to allow yourself to take a moment to sit with that, to journal it, and it will help you bring a little more balance there, but it will also help you get through the next, like it feels like a 4 to 6 week window that you have happening, that there's a lot of like pressure and thumping. It's like a thumper, like on that heart, just it's really pounding. So just allow yourself to sink into that, and it'll help you navigate and work through what frankly you're trying to avoid. So allow yourself to see it, because it just wants to be seen. It deserves to be seen too.
Thank you, Michelle. And so I'm going to ask a question that will be for everybody. So somebody might have a question of, okay, you're feeling it at the heart. Does that mean my heart chakra is out of balance, or is there something going on in there? Could you speak to that just a little bit more? So I know that a lot of people will ask that.
Yes, definitely. So when I get that message in the heart, so it's not necessarily that your heart chakra is like spinning too fast or not active. It's that's where your messages and your attention is coming to, where something of your heart, of matters of the heart, is sitting there in the heart chakra, and that's what's calling to the attention. And it might be you need to give yourself love and forgiveness for what it is that you're working through. It might be that you need to just give more self-care and attention to the heart and more love there. It did feel, when we asked, is it out of balance? It felt a little, how do I put this? A little scared. And so anytime we get that feeling of fear and then uncertainty, we want to come inward and really give that some attention.
And it does. I was going to say, in your sessions, you'll do readings, right? And then you clear the energy. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's good. I know I've had several sessions with you, but I wanted to talk about this because some people are like, well, actually, what happens? Like, what does this actually mean? So I like to put some knowledge to
Thank
that.
you. Yes, you're so correct. Thank you for that. We do. We'll connect into that chakra as we go through, and what comes up, we'll sit with it. A lot of times there's blocks, there's boxes that we hide, there's things. And so we'll work through those and we'll really work to clear them. And we'll elevate, we'll align, we'll balance, and we'll help bring what it needs to the chakra, whether it's balance, love. If it's moving too fast, we'll slow it down. If it's closed off, we'll work to open it.
Yeah. Every chakra has it needs something different, right? Depending on what's going on, there's different nuances. So a lot of times people ask me, how do I balance chakras? Well, there's a lot of different ways you can. I think it's really helpful to get somebody else to kind of help see what's going on, because exactly what you said, sometimes the chakra needs more love and needs to be open, needs to, tone it down a little bit. So I don't ever feel like there's like a one way for something, right? Because it's unique to everybody. We got our own recipe. We got our
Right.
own stuff going on.
Right. And one chakra might be really well balanced and
Right.
another one is off center. And that's where the Reiki, as a Reiki practitioner, the Reiki helps to balance them as we're going through intuitively.
Yeah. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing that. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and ask for Renee Archer. I'm going to do a message for you, Renee, and see what Spirit wants to share. So thank you for dropping your heart here today. All right. The first card I have here is the card of the higher self. And so this is talking about your life purpose as calling. But also what comes up for me on this picture too is doing more, what I would say, connection with source, leaning more into your spiritual practice, leaning more into that meditative state. And so Spirit's talking about there's a lot of things that feel like they're being thrown at you at one time. And you might have to go, do I do this? Do I do this? Or you might also feel a little torn, like, I don't know which way to go. Do I participate here, here, here? Or do I say, what do I do with all this stuff? And so Spirit's saying to kind of go into more of a calm place, for more of your energy to, what I'm hearing is rise up, for more of your energy to see what it truly feels connected with instead of all the options and opportunities. And so it feels like your purpose is calling, your higher self is really wanting to connect with you. And it does feel like you're raising your vibration. And so when you raise your vibration, we end up dumping out all the heavy stuff, right? And as we're dumping some heavy stuff, sometimes we feel like we're going through this detox, or we're feeling like it's not as peaceful as we want it to be. And so Spirit's saying, lean into that spiritual connection. Now, the other card I pulled for you goes along with that, and it's the closed door card. It's time to move on. So Spirit's, we get this message for everybody, but this is specific to you. There's a lot of endings, and I feel like there's choices. So it's about, how do I do this? How do I let go? And Spirit's really saying, lean into trusting yourself, lean into your intuition, continuing in that meditative state or prayer, just whatever that is for you. But what I see you doing is just really, and kind of, it feels very meditative to me, and just allow yourself to release. And the more you release, it feels like the lighter you are, the higher your perspective goes for you to see things a lot more clearly. So thank you, Renee, for letting me tune into your energy. And now I will pass this along back to Michelle.
Thank you. I'm feeling drawn to Jessica Hubbard. Excuse me, throat chakra. Jessica in the throat chakra. As I landed on your name, I could start to feel my throat getting a little tight. And also I started to get a little anxious as Whitney was talking through Renee's message. And it was more of my throat and that anticipatory of, I need to have this conversation. And I'm a little nervous to have the conversation because of how it's going to be perceived. And so there's just it's not being said, and it's not being said clearly. So in this space, I'm inviting you to honor your truth, speak your truth, and allow you to really see your truth for what it is and not what you think someone else is going to perceive it to be. And try to not replay those conversations in your mind. Just take your deep breath, clear, invite in your support team, and say what you need to say. And honor that truth and allow yourself to speak your truth even when it's difficult, because you're honoring yourself, and it's important. You're going to get I'm getting emotional over it. It's an emotional topic, and when it's emotional, that's where you just got to center, breathe, ask for your divine support, and allow it to flow through you. But you owe it to yourself to speak your and honor your truth. Throat chakra.
Beautiful message. Thank you for sharing that, Michelle.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Whitney.
Also, by the way, Holly commented, thank you so much. You're right on. And thank you. Thanks for reading me. So I thought that was really sweet as well. So thank you for sharing that. All right, let's see where I'm drawn. My turn. Okay. I'm feeling drawn to Shelly Eileen. So Shelly Eileen, I'm going to tune into your energy since you've given me permission by putting a heart, and see what Spirit wants to share here. All right. The first card that we have here is the card of the fairies. And so this is have fun and remember to play. Stop thinking so much. And so they're referencing, sometimes it feels like you might get stuck in a hamster wheel of thought where it almost comes across as anxiety / worry. You might not even acknowledge it as that, but it's like a head conversation. It comes up like there's something that's replaying. Anyway, Spirit's talking about there's a break the monotony message for you, where it's like, I need to engage in other activities. I need to have fun. I need to play. They're also saying, like, take all the things that you think about and you worry about and put it over here and ask Spirit to take care of it so that you can continue on and enjoy your day and your time and your life. They're saying that there's too much energy that is being, let's say, drained from you, mental energy with some thoughts, it's harder to describe other than worry / anxiety, or you're just like thinking too much is basically literally what the card says. And that's probably the best way to describe it. But they're just saying, have fun, let go, stop thinking about it. The next message is abundance. So this is like an outcome card here. Abundance is here. The universe is so generous. And one of the things that they're talking about, when you stop thinking so much about something, you manifest more joy and abundance. So when we're watching the water, waiting for it to boil, it takes forever. And sometimes when we think about something too much, we throw a kink in the flow. And so they're asking you to let it go, give it to Spirit, and manifest that abundance that's coming in. And abundance can come in so many ways. And so I'm seeing a lot more joy when we step out of our own way. And that message is for you. So thank you so much, Shelly, for letting me connect into your energy. I'll hand this over to Michelle.
Thank you. Callie Tissi, said that properly? Root chakra. And root chakra is coming in just grounding. Like I'm just wanting to just stand with my back up against a tree and just feel in the safe, the protection, the grounding, the nature, and just really absorbing that. It's almost as if, you want to be held and supported, and you are. And always know that you are divinely guided, supported, and held, but feeling into your body and coming a little bit out of the chatter and just grounding and rooting in. Ground in, root in, ground in, root in. and just helping yourself and then that's where you're going to get more clear. That's where things are going to just settle. And when you can ground in and root in, and sometimes it's taking breath and walks in nature and moving meditation to just really, but I got an image of just standing back against a tree, just allowing your head to just lean back and letting that support you, protect you, and knowing when you're grounded and rooted, you can do anything because you're really coming back into your body and then allowing yourself to reconnect spiritually. But grounding and rooting is really important for you right now.
Thank you, Michelle. And who are you reading?
That was Callie to see.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So for those of you who have just joined us and are very new to what's going on, we're asking you to drop any color heart emoji. And that means that you're open to getting a reading. So we're just scrolling through the comments, going where we feel led intuitively from spirit, but only if you have at least one heart in the comments. So we just need to make sure we've got your permission. Michelle has been doing some great chakra readings, and I'm doing spirit messages. If you feel inclined to get a chakra reading and balancing session with Michelle, you can get 20% off, but it ends tonight. And you can do that over at messengerofspirit.com. You'll find the big red buttons of where to book that session. But thank you so much, Michelle, for doing this. And so nice that everyone's here. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll through the comments since it's my turn and see where I feel drawn. All right. I feel drawn to Rose Sotaro. So Rose, thank you for letting me connect into your energy. Let's see what Spirit wants to share here today. First card, Butterfly. This is such a great card, especially as we're getting close to the new year. It is break through your limits, but I want to give you a piece of caution here. You will feel like, am I really breaking through my limits? When you break through your limits, you're tested. When you're tested, it feels like, why are things not going the way that they're supposed to go? What is happening here? And it's going the way it is supposed to go. It just might not feel as harmonious because you're breaking through something. And when you're breaking through, just like the caterpillar comes out of the cocoon, the chick comes out of the egg, it's a wonderful celebratory cycle, but it also feels like that was a lot of work. Like that was hard work. I'm exhausted now. And so Spirit's saying, you are breaking through, keep going, like keep going. We're celebrating. Just know that what you're doing now is progress and it does matter and you are moving forward, even if you don't feel like you're moving forward. But I also get a message with this card too, to remember to rest. Like when you get in the cycle of going, it feels like you got to continue to go. And Spirit saying, once you've done all this work, when you feel really tired, just listen to your body and remember to rest. Now, this next card is the throat chakra, and I'm not surprised since we're doing chakra readings today. Michelle is, but it's coming through in the cards. And so they're talking about really, there's going to be a transition. A lot of that breaking through feels like it's going to involve some communication and expression, like stepping into who you are more and not being worried so much about what other people think versus when you're expressing your opinions, when you're being who you are, when you're standing up for yourself and you're claiming your boundaries. And what I'm really drawn to in all that is boundaries more so. Like, I can't do this anymore, or I am saying no. So they're talking about that communication. And they're also talking about having some conversations with people, just like really being like, not being afraid to express how you really feel and what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. And it's okay, because they're saying that sometimes it feels like you might feel bad about not doing something. And Spirit saying that's part of this breaking through your limits, is you're not meant to do all the things. It's okay to say no. And they're just saying, like, there might be a feeling like people aren't seeing you, people aren't recognizing you, people aren't giving you credit for things, not being as acknowledged. And so Spirit saying, like, standing up and speaking about it is important. So thank you, Rose, for letting me connect into your energy. Michelle, I'm going to pass it off to you.
Okay, and I am drawn to Cheryl Lynn Schultz. And for you, Cheryl, the solar plexus is coming up. And in the solar plexus, it's time to step out and shine your light. It's time to have the confidence to express yourself and really stand out and trust in your gut, like really trust into your gut and to shine bright. And what also came up here a little bit is some doubt in doing so. And I encourage you to remember your why. So why are you shining your light? What are you doing? Where are you going with that? And that will really help you step into your own and have the confidence to do it. And the doubt, you don't need, sometimes doubt comes in when we're seeking a validation. You don't need the validation to step into your light. Just if you feel as you ground in, you connect in, that you are ready to do it, go for it, do it. And don't let other people's, just gonna say it, shame or fear hold you back from you stepping into your light. You're deserving of stepping into your light and really owning it confidently, authentically, and as yourself.
So nice. Helps. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate that. Appreciate the messages. Okay, I'm going to see where I feel drawn, and I feel like I'm drawn to Tamara Vanny. Not sure if it's Tamara or Tamara, but I'm putting your name up there so that you know it's you. Okay, I'm going to ask Spirit for some messages for you. Okay, so the first card is the Ascended Masters card. First off, when I see this card, is you're supported. The changes that you're going through are supported. You've got a strong, what it feels like is a strong, energetic backbone of support around you. So they're referencing your spirit guides, your spiritual support system, who are your helpers, right, in the astral plane. And you're ascending to a higher calling. So there's a lot of change, and the energy will feel like it's pretty intense right now. But that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. But when things are really intense, it creates a laser focused energy stream, and it can pierce through things, right? It cuts through the BS. You see the truth on things. You change your routines, the people around you, and things like that. So a lot of change is happening with Spirit saying you're supported. And I'm not surprised that you're getting this card, is the Phoenix, surrender to transformation and rebirth. And Spirit's just saying, we've got you. We know things are changing. You know, surrender to the change. Stop resisting it, because there's no point. It's going to change anyway. So you've got these two cards together. That's a lot of intense energy. Please be gentle with yourself. Be easy with yourself. Take some time away. Step back. Do what you need to do, because that is a lot to deal with. The great news is it's all part of the plan, and it's all positive. Like Spirit's rooting you on. It just is a lot right now. So it doesn't mean it's bad. It's definitely not bad. It's just a lot of energy that you're working with. So thank you for letting me connect into your energy. Michelle, I'm going to pass it back on to you.
All right. Melanie McNingle. Anyone, I apologize if I say your name wrong. Melanie McNingle. Melanie, I'm really feeling drawn to your crown chakra. And here in the crown, it's from a Whitney asked us earlier, out of balance. Your crown does feel out of balance. It feels like it's moving really fast. There's a lot happening there. It feels almost as if you are an empath and you've just got a lot of, like, you're connecting to spirit, you're connecting to energy, but connecting and how do I put this? Connecting in a safe, sacred space and way, and really being intentional about it and making sure you're clearing and protecting. But we want to just kind of allow your spirit guides and connect intentionally to your spirit guides and really sit with them versus the noise of the energy that could be coming in and around. So as Whitney talks about, when you're connecting, make sure you're really setting those meetings and connecting with your spirit guides, and you're setting your boundaries elsewhere. But Crown felt like it was just a lot happening there. So we just, in that balance.
All right. I feel drawn to Danielle Alum, and I don't think I'm looking at my list to make sure we haven't done this reading before, but it feels very familiar. So who knows why it does, but here it is, because I don't feel like we've had a reading for you yet. So I'm going to ask Spirit to give some messages here and see what messages want to come through the cards from your guides. All right, so the first card I have here is you're supported. Divine intervention is at play. It's that place where we feel there's no hope, there's no possibility of change with our logical mind. And Spirit comes in and is like, hey, we got you. Look at this. And all of a sudden some magic happens. And you're like, wow, how did that happen? I never would have guessed that. That seemed impossible. And Spirit saying, we're supporting you. Divine intervention's at play. We've got you. So that's that beautiful time where you can't predict things like for yourself, where you feel like, no way that's going to happen. And Spirit's like, oh, yes, it did happen. So it's a lot of positivity, and just know that your spirit support team's around you quite a bit. And this next card is take time to reflect and integrate, right? Take a pause. Don't keep going just to go. Don't keep going through the motions just to stay busy or stay active. You're actually wasting your energy doing that. And Spirit's saying it's time for you to take a pause, just allow, like we've got you. And it almost feels like if you think you can pause or take that much time away, that you don't understand how XYZ is going to work. And Spirit's like, we just told you, we got divine intervention. Like, you're good. So this almost feels like that message of like, take a vacation on us kind of thing. But it's just knowing that you've got to trust in that process. So I'm going to pass that along, and thank you for letting me connect into your energy. All right, Michelle, you want to do another reading?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, definitely. Just kind of seeing where Spirit lands here. Kristen Wingington? I feel like here in the sacral chakra is calling for some attention for some creative play. And this is more just allowing yourself and your creativity to flow through in a playful way, not in an expectation way, but in a very playful way. And just allowing that to come through and opening. So you might have some expectations here, but if you allow yourself to play in a creative way, creatively play, you'll allow those expectations that you're trying to box in there will eventually surface. But you got to clear it out and allow yourself to really settle in, clear out, go with some creative play, and just no expectations. If you're building something with clay and it falls apart, let it fall apart. Just let it, like, release the expectations, allow yourself to just play, and don't be so serious about it. Just allow yourself, just that sacral, and then more will flow. That sacral does feel blocked, and it feels like the more you allow play and creative play in that space, the sacral will open up, the feminine divine will open up there.
So nice. Thank you for sharing your messages. And for those of you who are just joining us, so Michelle's tuning into the messages that your chakras have. But when you do a session with her, she also clears any energy, listens to spirit to help that come into balance as well. And one of the things that I'm seeing a lot of right now is that healers aren't really doing their own self-care. They're maybe giving themselves sessions, but it just feels like the energy is so intense right now that what they need is to seek out someone else they trust to do it. Because sometimes we need that extra perspective. We get in monotony land, we get complacent and things. We're like, no, I need to do that, but I'll do it later. And we need somebody else sometimes to tell us again. And then a lot of times too, someone else has a different perspective, that we're so tuned into our own energy. We just kind of deal with stuff sometimes, and somebody else needs to call it out. So just putting that out there for you as well. All right. Somebody is writing and says, is it just me, or has there been a huge energy shift? I feel like there's been a huge energy shift here lately. I feel like that looks different for a lot of different people. A lot of empaths are feeling very overwhelmed right now. A lot of, what am I supposed to do right now? They're feeling the energy, not only from their lives, but just the collective of everything going on right now. So I'm noticing that. I feel like there's been a huge energy shift for some people, and it's affecting them in different ways, where if they've been really blocked, they feel like, okay, now I've got some clarity. And so I wanted to touch on with you, Michelle, before I go to the next reading. What have you seen with, energy shifts, and how's that worked with clients too? Like, what are you seeing for yourself? What are you seeing with clients?
For myself, big energy shift. And when I take stock of how I started my year to how I'm ending my year, it's very interesting, energetically, physically, all of the above. I've noticed I'm ending my year how I started it, but in a very clear way. And what I mean by that is things that were coming up for me earlier in the year at the beginning, I now have clarity on, and I can take that action. So when you had that closed door and those other cards, I was like, I'm feeling that. And I do. I feel like that for a lot of people. And it's not just because it's year end, but the energy shift is, I feel like some people are releasing demands and, like we talked a moment ago, expectations of what we should be doing, how we should be doing it, and just allowing ourselves to be. And I think that's really, really very important, because we see a lot of, there's 2 weeks left of the year. Yeah, so what? It happens every year. There's 2 weeks left. Do what you got to do. Give yourself grace and allow. And I'm seeing more people needing and craving and wanting that, and just needing that reminder of permission that it's okay. Whether you do it on December 15th or you do it on January 1st or January 3rd, just unless it's really, really urgent, give yourself some grace. And people are needing and wanting that, but they also are feeling like they need permission, and they don't. The only permission you need is your own heart to say, I need this. I give it to myself. Is your permission.
That's so good. I can feel like that too. Like I feel like there's a lot of releasing of expectations, and also old goals that we set for ourselves, or old wishes that we wanted something, and now we're seeing that they're not as important, or your priorities have shifted, those kind of things. And I think the overall message that I'm getting for everybody is to be easier on themselves. Like, everyone needs to give themselves grace, stop pushing so hard, start allowing and receiving. But before we even get to the place where we can receive, we have to pause, we have to rest, because we've got, if we're just pushing with so much momentum, it takes a little bit to stop, right? And so it's like, I've got to pause for a moment, and I forgot how to receive. I forgot how to do this. And so it's just like, it's okay. You don't have to keep pushing on into a path that you're not feeling in alignment with. I see that theme already here, when we're doing these readings. So it's quite interesting.
It is. And like I said, getting really clear, but just once you get clear, just allow that. You don't have to take action. Like we automatically think, oh, I made decision, action mode. Nope.
Right.
I'm clear. I'm going to sit with that. I'm going to journal on it. I'm just going to take a moment, a step.
And take inspired action. So it's like when the intuition hits, when the opportunity comes, then you say yes, and then do it. Don't hesitate. But don't be doing stuff to just do it. That's the key. You're wasting your time. You're spinning your wheels. Okay, I'm going to do one more reading, and then I'll ask if you want to do one more.
Sure.
But I'm going to read Kathy Tenney. So Kathy, I'm going to do a message for you and see what Spirit has to share. All right, so the first card. We just saw this card, and we were just talking about this. It is to pause and take time to reflect and integrate. And so what Michelle and I were just talking about also feels like it's personal for you too. And it's take time, allow, pause. It doesn't have to get done right now. It feels like when I tune into your energy, things might feel a little disjointed, almost like you can kind of see the puzzle pieces, but they're not quite coming together fluidly yet. And Spirit's just saying, just pause, take some time off, like just take some time to integrate this. It's okay. Like just allow, take a step away for a little bit, take a breath of fresh air, forget about it for a little while and come back. But this is all about you. It feels like you end up taking on a lot of people's energy with family. Like it just kind of gets there. It's almost like you're the person relied on energetically. And so Spirit's trying to get you to take that off of you. Like literally, I feel like I need to, fling stuff off of me. So I do feel like allowing yourself to just pause. I also feel like an energy clearing is something to look more into. This next card is a chakra card. So I just said energy clearing, just pulled the chakra card. This is the root chakra. And so what I'm getting is, yes, this is a large part around family. Like there's some stuff to uncover there, but to strengthen your root system so that you can help other people in a better way. And you've got to have that root system, but ground in the earth and be present in your body. And it feels like, it's really important for your health to do this, like really take care of you. And then it feels like, in the new year, like health being a priority, where it's like, I'm going to pay attention to me. I'm going to, be focused on me. And also it's okay to receive some support from others. So thank you, Kathy, for letting me tune into your energy. And so what I'm going to do is ask Michelle to do one more individual reading, and then we're going to do a reading for everybody that, like as a group, who has watched this video, whether you're live or on the replay. So there's a message for everybody in there. So I'll mute myself, Michelle, and pass it on to you.
Okay. I feel drawn to Dor Aguilar. And here there's a little bit of, there's a lot happening in the third eye, but there's also a lot happening in the throat chakra. So that's what's coming through for me. A lot of pressure in my third eye and my eyes, and I just want to close them. And it's like a light sensitivity, just feeling like my eyes are drawing closed. But what I'm really encouraging and feeling here on the third eye is to breathe through how fast things come through and just what is, but also to just allow, hold on, I just need to pause for a second. It's almost like you get a lot of downloads really, really fast. And I know that comes through the crown, but it's like through your intuition and your knowing. And then there's this of, is that mine? Is that something else? Is that ego? What is this? Is that something what someone else just told me and I heard that? And it's like everything. I always recommend ground back in and root back in so you can get clear on what is yours versus someone else's. And it's like this swirl that's happening. And when you're able to take the small wins with your intuition, you're going to trust it more and more. So really in that third eye, allowing, but also your throat came up, and the throat is like, you don't, what's coming is you don't always have to be so quick to speak it of what it is that you're getting. You might get excited about it and want to, but sit, process, feel through, discern, and then when it feels right and confident and clear, you'll share it. And I always say that, like, the third eye and the solar plexus are connected from an intuition and trust in that gut. So lean on your solar plexus when you are getting that of whether you should share or you shouldn't share, and trusting to how does it feel in your lower chakras of the body, and that'll be a telltale too for you. So a little trifecta on that one. Thank you, Dor.
All right, so we're going to share some messages for everybody who is here live or who has watched and or is watching the replay. So whenever you find this video, just know that this message is for you. And of course, we have our holiday sale going on tonight. It ends at 7 p.m. Pacific, which is 10 p.m. Eastern. You can go to messengerspirit.com. You'll see all the buttons. messengerspirit.com/sale is our official place where our holiday sale is happening. But there's also courses that's like up to 55% off. There's even like a $22 course. I wanted to do something really special for the holidays. And of course, all of our readings and our 90-minute Reiki and reading sessions as well are 20% off, but only through today at 7 p.m. Pacific. So let's give some messages, Michelle. I'm going to tune in for everybody and just pull some cards. This is for everybody that has connected with us in some way here today. First card is divine timing. So this is your message to remember divine timing. Let go of your timeline because spirit has a plan, right? That's the hardest thing for us to do is let go, but it should be the easiest amount because it's like the least amount of work, the least amount of energy, right? We don't have to do anything. And it can be hard for us sometimes to do that. This last message for all of us too is we're all breaking through our limits. So when we're breaking through our limits, we are confronted with old patterns, old things to break through. And so Michelle and I were just talking about how there's a lot of things that we're letting go of. We have more clarity on some things that are just no longer working for us, like old expectations, old goals, things like that. And so know that one, things don't necessarily go on your timeline, and let go of the plan. And then also let go and break through, right? So when you let go, you break through, you move to another level. And I just want to say that I understand there's a lot of things going on right now. And you might feel like, oh my gosh, I'm up against a wall, or I don't know what to do. And Spirit saying, this is part of the breakthrough process. You will get there. So just know that there's divine timing at play. So that's my message for everybody. And Michelle, I'd love for you to connect in and give everyone a last message if you'd like.
Absolutely. Just take a moment here. And I invite everyone to just take a breath. I think everyone just needs to take that breath. As Whitney just talked through those messages, it's a lot of transformation. I'm being called to the lower chakras, to the body. Our mind and our connection with spirit is extremely important. But we are here on this earth plane in a physical body, having our experience. And it is very, very important that you all, in the upcoming months, especially with our winter solstice, you take the moment to honor your physical body. And that's where I'm being drawn to those lower chakras, specifically root to ground in, root in. The image of the den is coming to mind when we just den in and we winter and we allow the softness of the season. We allow ourselves the strength of winter, as when we hibernate in the trees and the animals, they gain strength through their hibernation, through their grounding, and through their wintering. And you are encouraged to allow yourself to winter. And that's coming back into the body. And as you do, and every time you come back into the body, you're going to strengthen your upper chakras.
It's so nice.
Me too.
I feel like we're all reforming our roots. We're reforming our foundations, strengthening those foundations.
Yeah.
And that seems to be a theme here as well, as we're recalibrating. I think we're all recalibrating, and sometimes we feel that recalibration is change, and it is change. That's just, but we can also strengthen it. And I wish for everybody to feel that peace, right? As we're moving through this change, as we're moving through the holiday season, as we move into the new year. And I just want to say thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. If you liked what we did here today, tell us in the comments, and we'll consider doing some more of these in the next year. But we always like to hear from you. Like, what would you love? And thank you so much for being part of our community and part of our world. Thank you so much, Michelle, for doing readings, and thank you to Spirit, right, for channeling.
Absolutely, Spirit and our connection, and for everyone being here and being vulnerable to allow us to be part of your energy.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to go ahead and say bye for now, but I'll see you next year. All right, bye.